Today on The Joy of Editing, it's Photoshop Beta and Generative AI. Let's create. Stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. Today we're going to create something from scratch here in Photoshop Beta using Generative Fill. The first thing I'm going to do is come up here to File, click on New, and under my Save Presets, I have a widescreen canvas already saved out as a preset. I'm going to click on that, and it's basically 1792 pixels wide by 1024 pixels high. 72 is the resolution. RGB color 16-bit. We're going to go ahead and click create, but you can create that size if you want to, but that gives you this widescreen canvas. Now it's a transparent canvas. There's nothing on it. We're starting from scratch. The first thing we need to do is select the entire image. I'm just clicking my action here, select all, or you could do a Command or Control A, and then I'm going to click on Generative Fill. To save time, I already have a prompt. I'm just going to paste it in here and click Generate. Now this prompt is a stream of consciousness, nebulous galaxy, side profile of a beautiful woman in the clouds, and we'll see what we get here. Now we just have to wait about 20-25 seconds and see what our result will be. And here's our first result. Now let's look at another version. Okay, that's okay. Don't like that one so much, so let's go ahead and generate again. I'll click generate and we'll see what we get. This is where it takes a lot of patience. You got to try things till you really get something you like, but let's see what we get next. Okay, still not happy, not dreamy enough. The next one, this one's a little bit better, but two faces, but this is the one right here. This one speaks to me. I think I'm going to work with this one. Now I want to add to this. I'm going to come up to select and select the subject, because what I'm thinking is putting a galaxy inside of her face, like she's dreaming out and beyond this universe. I'll show you a little tip here. I'm going to shut off this layer, and I want to put a galaxy inside of her face. So I'm going to come up and click on Generative Fill and type in galaxy, because the reason I shut that layer off, I want the galaxy just to go into the face, and I don't want generative AI to look at the rest of the image. I just want a galaxy in the face. So I typed in galaxy, and now we're waiting to see what happens. Okay, so there it is. There's one version. Here's another, and here's another one. I think I like this one the best. Now I'll go ahead and turn the underlying layer back on. Okay, so there we go. But I'm going to double click on this layer and open up Blend Diff. And I'm going to play around with these blend diff sliders here. So I'm working with the shadows here and seeing if I can blend. And I'm not liking the blend I'm getting here. Now, if you hold your Option key down, you can split these triangles here. And so now this is with highlights. Okay, so this is giving me more what I want. See, I want to introduce some of the face in with that galaxy. So I'm just playing with that slider. And then the highlight slider on the right, I'm going to move it around just to see if I can get the right blend. And right there, I think it's good, and I'll click OK. Now, this is not a blend diff tutorial, but it's powerful. But there you can see the before and after, and I really like it. It's adding to the dreamy look here. But I don't like this transition, so let's see if we can fix it. I'm going to use a lasso tool. You can just type L to get your lasso tool, and I'm going to lasso around this area right in here and see if I can blend this more with Generative Fill. So we're going to lasso around here, and now we'll come up here and click on Generative Fill, and click generate, and let's let Photoshop see if it can figure this out. Okay, here's the first result. Not that good. Let's check the second. Okay, a little bit better. Here's the third. Let's see. I'm not happy with any of these. Let's try generating this again. So I'll click on generate and we'll see what we get. All right, here's the first result. Not bad. Let's try the second. Here's the second. Not liking that. Here's the third. You know what? I think I'll go back to the first. It's better, but I'm not satisfied. I'm going to lasso around this area in here and see what I can get. We're going to go ahead and generate in here again. So click on Generative Fill and generate. Okay, here's our first result. I do like that one. Let's try the second. Here's the second. Not bad. And here's the third. I think I'm going to go with the third. We're going to stay here. I still think I can make it better, so I'm going to lasso around this area in here and click on Generative Fill again and click generate. See what we can get now. Okay, here's the first. Here is the second, and here's the third. I think I'll stick with the third. I think I want to add a moon, so I'm going to get my elliptical marquee tool, hold the shift key down, and drag, and that makes a circle. And then put my cursor into the center of the selection and drag that in position. Come up to Generative Fill and type moon and generate and see what we get. Okay, here's the first moon. Let's look at the second. There's the second. I like that. Here's the third. I think we'll go with the second. What do you think? I do think it needs blended, so I'm going to use blend diff. So I'm going to double click right here, and that opens up blend diff. And I'm working on the underlying layer. Now I'm holding the Option or Alt key down and splitting this and seeing how I can fade that in and just kind of give it a nice blend, working on shadows. Now I'm moving the whole highlight over to the left, and now I'm holding the Option or Alt key down and splitting that and just dragging these sliders around just to see how I can graduate off that blend and just see if I can make it look like it's sitting right out there in our universe here. So I'm just continuing to play with the shadow and the highlight sliders just to see if I can get the right blend. And once I get it to where I think it looks good, I'll stop and click OK. Next, I think I want to add a nebula. So I'm going to grab my lasso tool. You can type L, and I'm just going to draw a weird loose shape around here, what I think a nebula might look like. And then I'll come up and click on Generative Fill and type in nebula. And then I'll click on Generate, and we'll see what we can get. All right. I don't like that one. Let's try the next one. No, I don't like that. Or the third. Let's generate again and see what we can get. As you can see, this takes a lot of experimentation. You can't give up. You just got to keep going. You're creating this image, you know. It's AI, but you're making all the decisions. What do you want in your image? Okay, there's my first one. That's not bad. Here's the second one. Not so much. I think I like this one a lot right here, but let's go back. There's the second. And no, I think we're going to stick with this one. I like this, but I think we need to do some blend diff, so I'm going to double click. You just double click on the layer, but not the name of the layer. Now I'm taking the highlight and moving it to the left. I don't like that. Now I'm taking the shadow, seeing what kind of result I get. Then hold the Option or Alt key down and split that, and then you can graduate it off. And this is where the blending starts working. So I'm just working with the two sides of the shadow slider here and trying to just strike the right balance and the right blend. And now I'm going to split the highlight. I held the Option or Alt key down, and now I'm just moving that just to see what I can get. And it's just a juggling act here. You just have to play around with these sliders. And then when you get the blend you like, that's the point where you'll stop. And I think I'm getting pretty close. And I think I like that there, so I'll click OK. Now, I think what I'll do next is some cropping. So I'm just typing my C key to get the crop tool. I want to crop off the right side of this image. I think I need more image at the bottom, so I'm going to pull down on the crop tool. Now, I have mine set up for Generative Expand, and I'll click Generate, and we'll see what Photoshop Generative AI can do right here, or Generative Expand in this case. Okay, I like that. I'm not even going to look at the other versions. And now I'm going to click on the image for the crop tool. And now I'm going to pull the left side over to about here. And then at the top, I want to add a little bit more up on the top, something like that. And now let's click on Generate and see what we can get this time. And here's the first version. Not bad. Let's take a look at the second. Here's the second version. Not bad. Here's the third. I think I like the third the best. So I think we'll keep this. Now, I like what I added, but I want to do a crop. So I'm going to click on the image to bring up the crop tool, and I'm going to change this to transparent default. And now I'm going to pull down on the top a little bit, and maybe on the left side, I'll pull that in a little bit to something like that. And I think that looks pretty good right there. Maybe I'll just pull up a little bit more on the top. What do you think? Somewhere right around there. And then click on this check key to commit to that crop. Next, a little cleanup. I'm going to click this button to get a blank pixel layer, grab the new Photoshop Remove tool, and I have mine set for Sample All Layers, Remove After Each Stroke. So I'm just cleaning up little areas that I think need to be cleaned up, like right here and here. And, you know, just looking for little things that are bothering me. There are some issues with the mouth I can fix with the Remove tool. I really love this tool. It can really do wonders. So I'm just continuing to clean up around this mouth, just brushing over the mouth and just, you know, blending it in and making it look better. And I'll just continue to work on other areas and little area in here I need to get. But just like that, we can clean up these little spots, and I think we're good to go. Now, if I wanted to print this out, I would have to definitely upsize this image, because if you recall, this image started out at a very small size. Right now, after I added some to the image with the Generative Expand and the crop, it's now 1601 pixels by 1158 pixels, which is very small. So I need to upsize this because I would like to make a print out of this, and I need to upsize it. Now, I could do it right here in Photoshop using TOPAZ Gigapixel AI, which does a fantastic job. In the future, you can use TOPAZ Photo AI to upsize your images right in Photoshop. That's coming. It's not here yet. But on this image, I think I'll go ahead and upsize it with TOPAZ Photo AI, so I need to save it out first. But the reason I made the image small to begin with is because I find I get the best results when I'm generating AI images with this smaller image, just like they use in Firefly, like basically based on that 1024 1 megapixel size, which I find gives me the best AI generation using a smaller size. But that means we need to upsize the image, and Gigapixel and Photo AI are going to give you the best results. So I'm going to come up here to File and come down to Export, Export as, and I want to export this as not a PNG, but a JPEG. I want my quality at the highest quality, so I'll drag this over to a 7. Everything else here looks good, and you can see here's the size right here, 1601 by 1158. And I'm going to export this, and I have this convert to sRGB. Embed the color profile, export, and then I just have to pick where I want it to go. In my case, I'm just going to send mine to the desktop. We'll just call it Stream of Consciousness 5 and click Save, and that'll save it out to the desktop. We still need to upsize this. I will meet you next in TOPAZ Photo AI. And here we are in TOPAZ Photo AI. By the way, I'm using the latest update, which was just updated. This is version 1.5.1. I'm just going to click on Browse Images, and I'm going to the desktop. And here's my image right here, Stream of Consciousness 5. Click Open, and that opens it up right here. And it's scanning and doing its little thing here. Well, actually a big thing. It's not a little thing, so it's pretty cool. You'll notice it's upsized to 2.54x, so a little over 2.5 times. I'm going to open this upscaling up, and right now it's at 4067 by 2941 pixels. I think I'm going to take this up to 4 times, which will get me up to like a 6404 to 4632. I can get a nice big print out of here. Now, I always like to use low resolution. It is chosen standard for me, which is probably okay, but I'm going to click on low resolution and see what I get. Give it a chance to enhance it here, and there it is. And it's set it up for like a minor blur and at 40. So I'm going to pull this back just a little bit and let it re-update itself here. And then all I need to do is click on Save Image. It's just that easy. And I'm going to send mine back to the original folder. Click on Save. It's going to process, and I will show you the result. And here is that final result. Now, I'm just here in Apple Photos because I wanted to show you this result, but I also want to show you some of the other creations I created in this same vein here. So this is the one I just did, and here was another one, another version of a Stream of Consciousness, another one here. So I just wanted to take you through my transition. Like here, I added these elements in the background. Again, this is where I came up with the concept to put the universe inside of the woman's face from this one. This one was created first. And then here's another example. Added this bird here, and pretty cool, I think. And here was the one I started out with first. This was more of a black and white Stream of Consciousness type of image. So there we go. So I started here, and then I went to this one, then I went to this one, and then this one. And then I thought today on the video tutorial, I would make this one from scratch and show you how I build these things up. So there you go. Well, there it is, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed this today. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, let me know in the comment section below. Hey, if you enjoyed today's tutorial, please like, share, subscribe, and if you're not yet a subscriber to this channel, please subscribe. Click that bell notification icon. Click the all so you get all my notifications, and every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll get notified about it. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today in the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly, and I will see you all right here next time. But until then, happy editing!